Hey everyone, thanks for joining the call. We're so glad to have you. And tonight, or this call, this presentation is going to be the business overview of the Thrive Life opportunity. Jeff Warnick is presenting it tonight. I got to give you a little bit about Jeff. Jeff and Lisa are the first consultants in all of Thrive, and talk about pioneering. They've struggled through this and made it to the platinum level. They did it with a tenth of the tools we have today. They did not have a website to send people to. They had to do manual orders, fax things in, and I still chuckle when they tell me the original sales kits that people bought were handwritten Sharpie on a Mylar bag. You know, if you can build a platinum business with the tools they had, we so have it easy. We have it so much better today, and I'm so proud to be associated with and call Jeff and Lisa Warnick my personal friends, and I'm collaborating with them on a regular basis now. I want to introduce Jeff Warnick.
Thank you so much, Monty. I am so excited to be with everyone tonight. You make me feel old there talking about the olden days and you know, fax machines and handwritten orders, but that really is the way it was, and it wasn't that long ago. We've been involved in Thrive Life for about 8 years, a little over 8 years, and it has been quite a ride, and we're really excited to share it with you tonight. So I want to talk a little bit first about our food. Thrive food really is just simple, clean food. That's the beautiful thing about it. There's no additives or preservatives. It's just, when you look at the ingredients on the can, it's just blueberries or strawberries or asparagus or whatever it is in that can. Like a lot of you and a lot of families these days, I try to eat healthy, but before I found Thrive, that was kind of a struggle. You go to the grocery store and you try and learn how to read the labels, and some of the things you can't even pronounce. And my kind of rule is, if you can't pronounce it, you should probably stay away from it. But with Thrive, I found it really easy to eat clean, healthy food. Now, this is a picture of Thrive foods. The ones in the middle on that platter are freeze-dried foods, and the ones on the outside are just the regular ones that you'd find at the grocery store. And we love this food. We love to snack on it. We love to make smoothies with it. We use it in meals on a daily basis, and it just makes cooking really easy. What we found is that, you know, people try to eat healthy, but typically, if you want to make a healthy meal, it takes a long time, and sometimes it's more expensive to cook healthy. If you want something that's quick and easy, it's usually unhealthy. But with Thrive, it's really nice because you can always have those clean, healthy foods right at your fingertips. Now, I like to talk about this a little bit. We call it the tale of two bananas. And this is kind of how produce gets to the market. It's usually picked several weeks early, because on average in North America, produce travels about 1,800 miles to get to the grocery store. And a lot of times it's trucked or travels by ship. It's in cold storage. And by the time it gets to your store, it's had to ripen while it's traveling. But because it was picked green, it never really had all of the nutrients. You know, a lot of those nutrients come from the soil and from the ground. And in the last few weeks of the ripening process is when they get the full flavor and the full nutrients. But with store-bought produce, a lot of time that's not possible. Well, the great thing about Thrive is that we're able to leave that produce on the vine until it's fully ripe, so that it's able to reach its peak of ripeness and freshness. And then it's flash frozen within hours. And then we freeze dry it in our own facility. And then we package it, which locks in the flavor. So all of those nutrients and flavor are locked in and last for the full shelf life of the product, which is just a really neat thing to be able to have. Now, another thing we have, we call it the Nutrilock Promise. And this is a 40-step proprietary process. And it takes our products from the grower to the can and everything in between. And those 40 steps really ensure that you're getting the highest quality product possible. Everything's tested both before it's freeze-dried and after, to ensure that there's no pesticides or herbicides. All of our products are non-GMO. And this Nutrilock Promise really guarantees that you're always going to get the highest quality. That's another thing I really love about our products, especially our produce, is I talked about how that freezing and freeze drying process locks in the nutrients and allows everything to be fully ripened on the vine. So with store-bought produce, take blueberries for example, they're picked early before they have all the nutrients, and then as soon as they're picked, they start losing those nutrients. Well, with freeze-dried, they're picked at the peak of ripeness, flash frozen, freeze-dried, locking in all those nutrients for the entire life of the shelf life of the product. And so when you're eating our Thrive blueberries, you're getting 40% more calcium than you would over a store-bought blueberry. Peaches, this one blows me away, 21 more times more vitamin C in freeze-dried peaches than in the store-bought variety. So there's lots of different things, products that we have. Spinach is another one. We make smoothies every day. And before Thrive had spinach, we would go to the store and buy big bags of spinach, use half the bag, and the bottom half of it would go slimy before we could even use all of it. So with Thrive, it's really, I think of it as concentrated flavor and nutrition. A lot of times you don't have to use that much because a little goes a long way. A little adds a lot of flavor, and it also adds a lot of nutrition. Now I want to talk a little bit about the convenience and savings. Thrive foods are so convenient. You know, if you ask people about cooking, one of the things that really frustrates people about cooking is the thawing, washing, peeling, and chopping. It's the prep. That is really what takes the most time. If you think about making a meal for your family, it might take 45 minutes to an hour. Well, probably more than half of that is involved in washing, thawing, peeling, chopping everything. The actually putting things in the pan and cooking it usually doesn't take that long. Well, with Thrive, everything is already at your fingertips. So all you have to do is scoop out the ingredients that you need for your recipe and use exactly what you need. There's no waste. And so a lot of people might think, oh, well, freeze-dried foods, they're more expensive. Well, first of all, they're, like I said earlier, they're a concentrated product. So a little bit goes a long way. Then there's no waste at all, because if you need a half a cup of onions, you just scoop out a half a cup of onions. You don't take half the onion, use half of it, put the other half in the refrigerator with good intentions of using it later, but half the time what happens? We go back to use it and the onion's gone bad. Or mushrooms is another one that in our house we used to throw away a lot until we started using Thrive mushrooms. Now we can just take exactly what we need. We have a family favorite that we make, and it's a curry dish. It's a kind of a curry stew, and it has potatoes and butternut squash and onions and carrots and celery and chicken. And before Thrive, we used to make that, and it would take a good hour of prepping, washing, thawing, peeling, chopping, browning the chicken, getting everything ready to put it in a crock pot and then cook it all day. Well, we make that dish now, and it literally takes us about 10 minutes to scoop all the ingredients out of the can, throw them in, add the water, and leave the crock pot. So it really does save a lot of time on prep. Now, this is another one of our products that we just came out with a few months ago, and it's called Simple Plate. And it's basically a meal kit. If you've heard of other meal kit companies that are real hot on the market right now, like Blue Apron, HelloFresh, Plated, it's a huge industry. It's one of the fastest growing segments of the food industry. But there's some limitations with those kits. You have to buy them in threes. You have to buy ours in threes also. But with those, if you buy three, they get shipped to your house. Everything in it is perishable. There's a huge amount of packaging. And as soon as you get it, you better be able to use that within the next 3 or 4 days. Because if you don't, things are going to start going bad. Well, with Thrive, because everything's freeze-dried and shelf-stable, you can take those boxes, put them on the shelf, and they're ready when you have a busy, crazy night and you need a quick go-to meal. They're there. They're ready when you are. This is another one of our products, one of my favorites. It's called our Chef Pack, and it really is the best way to take a tour of our product line. Each box contains about 6 or 7 different dishes. And there's also extra ingredients that you'll have left over that you can try it in your own meal. So you'll maybe have some extra onions and bell peppers and green chili peppers that you can try in some of your favorite dishes. It's a great way to try Thrive. We have a chicken, beef, and pork pack. And the person who invited you to this call can tell you more about that, but it's a great way to try out Thrive. Now, smartest, lowest cost, best way to get our food is being a preferred customer through our delivery service. So our preferred customers, we have special flash sales. There's discounted items every month where they get 20 to 30% off and sometimes more. And our preferred customers also get free shipping on all of our preferred items, which are our freeze-dried products and our simple plate meals, when their order totals $100 or more. So really, being a preferred customer is the best way to go if you want to get our food. And again, the person who invited you to this call can tell you more about that. So I want to talk a little bit about the cost of our food. So the great thing, what I love about sharing Thrive with other people, is that you don't have to spend any extra money on Thrive. You already have a grocery budget. You're already spending, let's just, for example, say for a family spending $600 a month. Well, just take a portion of that, maybe $200, $100. You can set your own amount and spend that on Thrive. And then keep buying the other things that you need from the grocery store. We started doing this 8 years ago and started out, I think, with $50 and increased it to $100 and then $150. And now we do $200 or more every month. And probably more than half of the groceries that we use, we get through Thrive. And it's great because they're shelf stable. They're always on our shelf and ready when we need them. So there's really three options, three ways to get Thrive. The first one, and our most popular and my favorite way to get Thrive, is option number one. You get 3 simple plate meals. You get the chef pack that I talked about that has the 6 or 7 different dishes and recipes and things you can make. And then 8 of our snackies. And our snackies, I love these. You can just, they're in a pouch. You grab them on the go. It's some of our most popular items that are great for snacking on. That one's $199 a month. If maybe $199 doesn't work for you, we have one for $160, and that's our option number 2. And that just takes out the snackies, but you still get the 3 simple plate meals and the chef pack. Or if maybe you have dietary restrictions, we have lots of gluten-free products. Or if you're a vegetarian, maybe the customizing your own delivery works better for you, and you can certainly do that. But we have something to make it even a little bit more interesting for you, and that's if you sign up for one of these packages, the person who invited you to this call can help you save some money on the option number 1. You're going to save $20 on your first delivery, and on option number 2, you can save $15 on your first delivery. So it's a great way to get started and just try out some of the products. Now, so it's really easy to get started. Basically, you pick your option, you know, the $199 kit or the option number 2, or you can just customize your own, choose a date, and then the best way to do it is $100 or more, because that way you get free shipping on all of the preferred items. And it's real. That's all it takes to get started getting our foods. Now, the way that we share the Thrive love is by sharing the food. And we do that through tastings. We love to share the food. The person that invited you to this call can come to your house and you invite some friends over. And just by doing that, you have the opportunity to earn a ton of free and half-price groceries. So again, get with the person that invited you, and it's a really fun way to sample our food and get some free and half-price product. Finally, I want to talk just a little bit about becoming a consultant. Really, this is the best way to thrive. And I want to talk to you about why it's so exciting and what really made Lisa and me just decide, yeah, we want to jump in and do this. If you look at the direct sales industry, which we're part of, we're a direct sales company, you can really break them down into 2 categories. One would be the widgets, and one would be the consumables. The widgets, you're probably familiar with some. The plastic products, candle products, there's lots of different kinds. I used to work for one of these before I went full-time with Thrive. I worked for a direct sales company that would be on that widget side. The other type of direct sales company would be consumables, lotions, potions, pills. The widget side is about a $2 billion industry. The consumable side is a multi-billion, hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's all pretty obvious. It's because people need to purchase it over and over again. The company I worked for was more of it would fall into the widget category. And once people had a house full of our product, they didn't need it anymore. And one of the things that at that company we were always looking for was something we could create that would be consumable. And when I first saw Thrive, I was so excited about it because we have a consumable product that people both want and need. And so that's what made Lisa and me decide, yeah, we're going to jump in. Because the food industry, which we're a part of, is a $4 trillion industry. It really is the largest industry in the world. Everybody eats, everybody is a potential customer. And our market is so big, and really there isn't anybody that's quite like us that has such a unique product that fills such a great niche. Now, a couple of years ago, we had a company called Ogilvy, and Ogilvy is one of the largest and most prestigious marketing firms in the country, if not the world. And they work with lots of Fortune 500 companies. In fact, some of the ads you probably see during the Super Bowl game were done by Ogilvy. Well, they came in and looked at working with us with Thrive Life. And whenever they consider working with a company, they do some research to make sure the market is large enough for them to invest their resources. So before they worked with us, they did some focus groups and surveys. And what they found is that there are 51 million households and over 528 million people in North America that are ready, and if they knew about our product, would be ready to jump on board. So the great thing about Thrive is we have barely scratched the surface. Even though we're an 8-year-old company, we've just kind of got things in place, the tools and systems and a great product line to reach those 51 million households. And so it's a perfect time to jump on board. It still really is a ground floor opportunity, even though we've been around for a while. So how do you become a consultant? Well, it's really easy. We have 3 different kits. We have our social seller kit, which is $135, our business builder, which is our most popular kit, which is $265, and then our business builder plus for $499. And one of the great things about our consultant kits is it doesn't matter which one you buy, you still have the same opportunity. The only difference is that the business builder contains a little bit more material and product than the social seller. But whatever one fits your budget, you can jump in and you can run with it. And just the Business Builder Plus kit is basically the same thing as the Business Builder, but it just includes one of our pantry organizers. So if you're interested in having one of these pantry organizers, it's a great way to do it is to just start with the Business Builder Plus kit. Now, so in summary, the way you do it is, number 1, you become a consultant. You pick a kit and you jump in. Number 2, you start a delivery plan. You can start with that most popular option 1 that I mentioned, or you can customize your own. And then when you get started, you're going to be able to take the value that you spend on your kit and your deliveries and what's called double dip that into your first tasting. So you're going to be able to actually earn free and discounted product from your own kit when you start sharing it with others. So I want to talk a little bit about how you actually make money in Thrive, because as Monty said, there are a lot of us that do this full time. It really is a serious business opportunity. You can really do with it whatever you want. If you want to make a little or make a full-time income out of this, you can. But the first thing is you make 20 to 64% on the first shipment on the delivery service. So depending on how much volume you do in a given month determines the range, but you can make anywhere from 20 to 64%. And then one thing that's really unique about Thrive Life is you continue earning 5% on those deliveries for as long as the person stays with the delivery service. We have people still from over 8 years ago that are still on this delivery service. So when people say, oh, you went and did a tasting at someone's house, how much money did you make that night? It's almost impossible to tell, because we have made money month after month after month for years from doing parties several years ago. That is one of the most unique and things that just blew me away with our compensation plan. Then you make 10% on any one-time orders that are placed outside of the delivery service. Another thing that's really cool is you actually get a commission on the starter kits. Again, a range of 20 to 64%, depending on how much volume you do in that month. And then the last way, and this is actually where the big money can be earned, is by building a team. You can earn 1 to 2% on your team sales. And this isn't an overnight thing. This takes 1, 2, 3, 4 years to build, but with some work and some training and some duplication, you can build a team that continues to provide you a residual income month after month. So whether you're interested in making a few $100s or several $1,000s a month, you can do that. Thrive has what it takes to achieve that. We have the training, we have the tools, we have the products, we have the system. If you just want to make enough to pay for your own deliveries, you can do that very easily. But if you want to make several $1,000s a month, we have a new team that we've just created where we teach you how to do that. It's called a Million Dreams Team. And if you decide to jump on and be a consultant, we invite you to join us there. We also have trips every year, fantasy getaways, we call them. This next year is going to be to Panama. And the earning period, the contest period just started. So it's not too late for a brand new person to jump in and be able to earn this trip. We've had many people who come in mid-year and are still able to earn this trip. So this is going to be the trip of a lifetime next January. We encourage you to join us there. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't miss one of these trips for the world. Another thing we have for anybody, really, whether you're just interested in doing this business just to earn a little bit of money or a lot of money, you've got to be at our convention. It's this July in Provo, Utah. It's 2.5 days of training and collaboration and fun, and we'd really love to have you there. Finally, we have an offer going on right now that if you jump in and you decide to join with us, you're going to get a free Simple Plate meal, and this is a limited time one. It's a chicken cranberry crepes with cranberry apple chutney. Have to say that one slowly or I'll get tongue-tied. But if you join by the end of the month, you'll get an extra bonus Simple Plate. So love to have you join us. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. The time is right. So with that, I'll end and turn the time back over to Monty.
Hey, Jeff, thank you. Thank you. Can you stick around a little bit and let me ask you a few questions? I'd like to jog your thoughts on a couple of things. Do you have a few minutes?
Sure, absolutely.
Well, first of all, thanks for the presentation. A lot of people don't know this, so I'm going to leak it out there. You're a six-figure earner in this business, so big money can be made in this business, full-time income, correct?
It can. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's very doable.
Okay, so somebody jumps in tonight, they're watching this, or whenever they see this, they're watching this, they say, I want to do this. How long would it take somebody to recoup their original investment? They spend they buy the starter kit for $256, they get on the option one, they spend another $200 a month. How long would it take somebody to earn that back?
You know, I've never seen anyone who has that desire to earn their kit back not be able to do it within the first 30 days, if not sooner. You can, with just sharing this with a handful of people, it's very easy to earn several $100s. We have a program called 4-2 where kind of a basic goal, kind of company culture is to have 4 new customers and 2 new consultants join each month. And if you do that, you're going to make $300 to $400 right there.
Okay, that leads me into my next question. You're a six-figure earner, so that might scare some people, but that's way before 6 figures is most people what they'd consider full-time income. Is it really possible for average Joe to come in this and make a full-time income?
Yes, absolutely. It does take time and it takes work and it's not easy. This is a very emotional business. There's ups and downs. So you've got to be mentally tough, but you work through those things. And we have so many great resources and people, your upline that will help you. We have this Million Dreams team, Facebook group where we collaborate and share strategies and ideas. So, you know, within 1 to 3 years, it's very doable. And that's one of the things that I love about this industry is that you can take what would normally take maybe a 20-year career in traditional business, and you can condense that down and achieve the same thing in 1 to 3 years.
That's amazing. That's so true. So, that just kind of triggers another thought. My wife and I build this business as well, and we get I get asked a lot, or I hear this comment a lot. I'm an introvert. I'm not a salesperson. I probably couldn't build that business. What do you say to that?
I hear that a lot, but honestly, we have seen so many people that fall into that category have huge success. Some of our most successful people in the company are shy and introverted. It's really a product that you just get the food in people's mouths and they say, wow, how do I get this? It really almost sells itself. I hate that cliche to say something sells itself, but it's really a matter of just, I believe that selling is just explaining and having people understand. And if you basically feeding them the food and explaining to them how to get it is all it takes. And we have seen a lot of people do very well at this who are not the most outgoing and over the top type people.
Okay, how about somebody who lives in a small town? What kind of restriction is that?
Again, we have so many people who live in small towns who are very successful. It's sometimes grocery stores aren't as close by, and sometimes it's actually more convenient for people to get these groceries delivered to their door. And when you can get it with free shipping, and then it's shelf stable, so you're not having to run to the store every time you need something, it really is a huge hit in smaller towns. We have a lot of people in areas where there's several very successful consultants within in a small town, and all of them can be successful because we all know different people, and those people lead us to other people, and pretty soon you've expanded your circle of influence, and really there are no limitations geographically. You can sell anywhere you want.
That's so true. Another thing I hear often is, I'd consider doing this, but everybody I know is so tight on money and tight on budgets. How could I possibly either get them as customers or get them to become consultants? How do you overcome that?
It's another one that's really easy, because on the customer side, everybody already spends money on groceries, and they probably waste a lot. The average family in the United States wastes 30 to 40% of their food budget. It either goes into the trash or they throw it away before they even use it. I mean, it all goes in the trash, but it could be leftovers that end up being wasted, or it just never gets used. And it really is a shame. And with Thrive, there really is no waste, because you just scoop out exactly what you need. And so all we're saying is just reallocate a portion of your budget, $100, $200 a month. Spend that on Thrive. Buy the things that you throw away a lot. We started out buying things like onions and mushrooms and celery and things like that we were always running to the store for and always running out of. Just start buying those things from Thrive, and you'll find a huge savings. So you really don't have to spend any more money. On the consultant side, just by sharing with a few people, you can get free groceries. So you're going to be able to cover the cost of your own deliveries and then earn free and discounted product just by sharing with others. So it really is a way that you can not only get food at not really a discount, but end up saving money in the long run, and then you can actually earn money by sharing it. So really, I don't see the money thing as a hindrance to people.
Okay, do you have time for just a couple more questions?
Sure.
Okay, you and your wife, Lisa, build this business together, and you came from a traditional corporate background. What made you decide to join Thrive and do this type of business?
Lisa was introduced to it before they even launched this whole direct sales model. They were just a retail company at the time. And she came home and told me that they were thinking about doing a direct sales model. And like I said earlier, I worked in that industry and I knew it very well. And when I saw the product, that it was food and that it was shelf stable and it was something people wanted and needed and it's a consumable, I said, Lisa, you have to get yourself in there and you have to make sure that you're involved in this from the ground floor, because this thing's going to be huge. And so we saw the potential But honestly, in the beginning, it was just blind faith that it would even work. But we took it and we ran with it with blinders on. And I have to give most of the credit to my wife, Lisa, and some of the people that she was able to bring into the business early on that really helped achieve that success. One of the beautiful things I think about this business is you can't do it on your own. You do it with a team. You do it by helping other people become financially free and learn how to enjoy this great food. And by helping other people do that, then you can see that success. And it's really fun to be a part of.
Okay, so that's what made you jump in 8 years ago. What excites you about Thrive today?
You know, I think just where we are right now with the company, like you mentioned earlier, we didn't have all the tools and resources and trainings and systems back then that we have now. We have, the products are so much better now. We have the whole package now that we were missing back then. And even though we saw a lot of success in the early days, we're now at a place where we can launch this thing beyond anything that I ever dreamed of, because we are in a position with the right process, the right products at the right time. And I couldn't be more excited for the future.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your time to come join and share your business overview with everybody here. Those of you that are listening to this and are invited to the call, make sure you reach back and tell the person who invited you. You know, the timing in Thrive is so incredible. I hope you'll take the time to join us, come run with us, and travel the world with us. This is the right time and the right product, and we have the right process. Come join us. Thanks for being on the call.
Thank you.